I was lost. Mentally, I was lost. I was still in a street like mentality trying to find something to do with my life.
Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
You're listening to the Black and Blue Podcast, a discussion and celebration of the roles of African Americans and other minorities in U.S. law enforcement. Your host on the Black and Blue Podcast is Dale Peters, a law enforcement professional with over 20 years experience in the business. Hop on board this Black and Blue train of interviews, current events, and pop culture conversations. So get ready. The Black and Blue Podcast is coming at you right now. Welcome, Square Pegs, to this episode of the Black and Blue Podcast. This is the Interrogation Room, and I'm your host, Dale. Thank you for joining me on this train that we moving down the track called Black and Blue. I got something real special for you today. He is a probation officer with the largest county in the United States. Please help me welcome in Omar Bullard.
Hey, how you doing? I like the sound effects of the audience. That's nice. Make me feel special.
Yeah, they really here, man. We really got the kids and the applause here, man.
Oh, so that's cool.
They really here. They in the back. You just can't see them.
Tell them I said what's happening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah. So, welcome to the Interrogation Room. My name is Dale, as you know, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm blessed.
All right. So, Omar, you are a probation officer, man. How long you been doing that?
I've been a probation officer for 7 years. May it be 8 years.
Okay. And what are like the duties you do as a probation officer, general?
As a probation officer, I'm responsible for the supervision of any probationer or defendant that is released from state prison on a high supervision level. That's released from the custody of the county courts on a high supervision level. Anybody that makes a promise that they will live their life for a period of time by a set of terms and conditions. My job is to provide them with the resources to succeed and acclimate back to the community successfully.
Okay. And we always hear about, probation officers having, a huge caseload. What's usually a caseload for a probation officer having probationers on their caseload?
Well, it depends on the assignment.
Okay.
If you're on a low impact supervision caseload, that's pretty much all you're doing is putting out fire. So you can have anywhere from 600 to 1,000 people on your caseload.
Wow.
They're considered low supervision, low risk of committing violent felonies. They've probably been arrested one time and committed a felony on that one arrest, so they don't have a substantial criminal history. That's what traditionally happens, but you do have those that slip through the crack and fall into low supervision when they should be monitored on a higher level.
Okay.
Then the next level you would have the medium supervision, which they have some history, but it's still not to the level of a high supervision, possession of firearms, drugs, violence in their past, pretty much what you would call a career criminal, which would be a more higher level of supervision.
Okay. All right.
So with the probation department, we deal with, we have our mental health unit, we have our homeless supervision units, we have our domestic violence, DUIs, we even have Veterans Administration probation officers that deal strictly with the VAs.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you guys are multifaceted, it sounds like.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there's also gang units, people assigned to gang units. That's what you do right now, right?
Actually, right now, I am assigned to a gang unit as a gang investigating officer for the probation department.
Okay. All right. And what kind of people you coming in contact with there? Gang members, people, dope dealers, all that?
We have people on our caseload that are documented as gang members, documented as people who are known to be drug dealers. Pretty much drug addicts are gang members who turn into drug addicts. Just different wide variety. Because of our situation, my unique situation, I got everything from the low level, just drug user, all the way to the more sophisticated people that's probably running cities
Okay.
on my caseload.
Right. Okay. And then, but you're assigned to a local police department, right?
Exactly. I'm what they call police officer, probation officer, law enforcement liaison officer.
Okay. How's that relationship between probation department and the police department? How's that usually work together?
Well, you know what? I'm an extra body on the police team.
Okay.
Whatever they need as far as probation wise, I built my network where I've even tapped into parole, where I have personal connections with parole agents, so I can assist my team with both probation and parole by just reaching out to my counterparts on the parole side, the state agency side. I developed my network where I've also communicated with my co-parts over in other counties. So whatever my team needs, I'm that extra body to get it for them.
Exactly. So for our listeners and our viewers, what's the difference between probation officer and a parole officer, parole agent?
Oh, that's a good question. In the state of California, you have two levels of supervision. You have people who are currently in state custody. State custody on violent, serious sexual offenses. When they're released and they still have time that they owe to the state, they're released on parole, which is the same. It's similar to probation, but it's supervised by parole agents. They're supervised by officers that are hired by the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation to supervise the state release inmates that still owe time to the state.
Okay.
Probation officers are county level. So whenever a person goes before the court, they have a decision to make. Either they're going to serve their time on the felony offense that they committed, or they can be given probation in lieu of serving county jail time or prison time.
Right. Okay.
Because of the Assembly Bill 109, I believe what happened was because of the overcrowdedness of state prisons, the federal government came in and said that you had to reduce your numbers.
Right.
So Governor Brown at the time signed off on Assembly Bill 109, which allowed for state inmates to be sent back to the county of their residence,
right,
in order to be supervised on the county level, which gives county probation officers the duty to supervise state prison release inmates on a lower level, such as non-violent, non-sexual offenses.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And so you got all these different populations and people that you're dealing with nowadays. So how's that increased your caseloads across the county?
Across the county, across the state, period, all counties,
Right.
It's increased their caseloads tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, it's about your current offense, not past offenses. So a person could have a violent past or a sexual offense history in the past,
Right.
but their current offense is non-serious, non-violent,
Right.
non-sexual.
Okay.
So that means that person who is coming out of state prison with this violent past, because he might have had a drug charge, or he might have had a burglary charge, or he might have had something that's not considered violent or sexual, he's released back to the county.
Oh, okay.
So even though they're not currently violent sexual offenders, they have that history. So we're still supervising. Exactly. We're still supervising those on that level.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So I noticed you're wearing some interesting robe there, some interesting garb there.
Oh, no,
what's that all about? What's that all about?
Well, what happens is every Saturday I provide a free martial arts class to the community in San Bernardino.
Okay.
At the Hernandez Community Center. And I'm a martial arts instructor over there. This is our patch, the Inland Empire Institute of Martial Arts.
Uh-huh.
We are members of one of the oldest, I don't want to say black karate organizations, because it was created to be a voice for all people of color during the 60s and the 70s.
Okay.
What they say is the Black Karate Federation was like the civil rights movement for the martial arts world.
Nice.
So people like Big John Henderson, Jim Kelly, back in the days, if you have a lot of people that's familiar with martial arts, Steve Sanders, he goes by Steve Muhammad now.
Okay. I know Jim Kelly.
Exactly.
He was back in the Bruce Lee days, right?
Exactly. If you ever watched the movie Enter the Dragon, when Jim Kelly was saying goodbye to his instructor, you'll see this cobra in the background.
Okay.
That was our 103rd Street school, one of our very first BKF schools.
Wow. So is this nationwide? Is it?
It's international. We have the largest martial arts organization, the Kempo Karate Federation. The Kenya Kempo Karate Federation in Kenya is the largest martial arts organization in the country of Kenya.
That's what's up. I like that. Let's see that patch again.
There you go.
That's dope. I like that. That's dope.
Just like I said,
red, black, and green, all that on it.
Exactly. The gold is for the gold. If you see it, it's in the shape of a fist.
The
cobra being one of the most deadliest snakes in the world, representing our art of Kempo. The red, black, and green is for the Pan-African colors, which represents not just black, but just the people of color who are connected to us in a I would say historical African ancestry.
Yes, sir.
So the whole diaspora, going from the whitest of white to the bluest of black.
Yes, absolutely. And how long you been studying?
I started with the BKF in 1984 when I was 13.
Okay, all right. Is there belt levels?
I'm currently a 5th degree.
5th degree what?
A black belt.
5th degree black belt. Okay.
Yeah.
How many degrees?
It goes up to 10. A grandmaster is 10th degree is a grandmaster. You can start off at you have the junior grandmasters that are like 8th degree, senior grandmasters, great grandmasters. These are all, you can't go no higher than 10th degree. So when you hear great grandmaster, these are just people that's been in the art for 60 plus years.
Yeah. All right. And do you use any of that, in your work? Are you a defensive tactics instructor or anything like that?
I've been asked to be. I just haven't taken the opportunity. I enjoy what I do. I don't do it for pay. I don't do it for extra. This is something, when I first started back in 1984, I didn't have the money to get. My instructor said, if you catch the bus to the school and you show up, don't worry about anything else. I got everything taken care of. That's how I grew up in the BKF. Is my instructor took me up under his wing as if I was his second son.
Okay.
So
where'd you grow up at?
LA, Los Angeles.
Okay, in LA.
Los Angeles, yeah. My first school was on 109th and Broadway. Went from there to Crenshaw and 46th Street. That was my second school. Pretty much my instructor's been in my life. Grandmaster Robert Temple's been in my life probably since I was about 13 years old. My cousin, who's also a black belt in the BKF, is the one that introduced me to my first instructor.
Are they still with us? Are they still alive?
They're still alive. Yes.
Are they still practicing?
They're still practicing. My cousin's not. He's in the entertainment industry. So
Okay.
he's a animator for DreamWorks.
Nice.
So he's focused more on that end right there. But my instructor, he teaches for the Police Athletic League in Santa Monica.
Okay. So what you saying? Since your brother's animator, you saying you don't know how to draw? You're not artistic? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I was the one that designed this patch right here.
Okay, so you got a little bit of artistic
exactly.
flair in your blood.
One of my fraternity brothers, he actually brought it to life for me, but it was my design that he brought to life. So he's the one that added. I'm not good at coloring, so he's the one that did the shadowing and did everything else that I needed to get done.
So fraternity, what school did you go to and what frat?
Well, I pledged at Long Beach State University. I was at Long Beach State in 96, 97. Partying a little bit too hard, so I had to transfer over to Cal Poly Pomona. But I'm from Epsilon Kappa Chapter, Long Beach State. just was adopted by the Kappa Omicron brothers over at Cal Poly Pomona, but my heart is always at Long Beach State.
Well, Cal Poly is a good school though.
It's a great school. That's where I graduated from.
Yeah.
I never
What'd you
deny
graduate
that.
with? What'd you graduate in?
I graduated with my degree in psychology, and then went on to
Psychology.
get my master's in clinical psych.
Okay. And when you get that, what are you gonna do? You gonna stay with probation, and are you gonna use it? What are you
Right
gonna
now, my end goal is to do either a PhD in forensic psychology or a PhD in community psychology. It depends on which aspect I want to go in. If I want to stay in law enforcement, then I would definitely do forensic psychology.
Yeah.
And assist in developing more programs for the probation department in order to be a better resource to people coming home from prison, coming out of the county system.
Yeah. When we get off of here, I'm gonna have to introduce you to the wife. She works for the same county you do as a psychologist.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll let you talk to her, and she can give you some guidance and some tips and what she does and all that. 'Cause she wants to do the same thing that you're talking about. She's not in the forensic psychology. She's always wanted to do that, but when the kids were younger, she couldn't do that. She wants to work at at the jails and in Patton, state hospital and all that, but she hasn't been able to do that because we had kids who were younger. But now that they're older, she's like, now I'm ready. Let's do it. So
exactly, and that's the main thing that me and my wife are going back and forth with is right now I have a 19-year-old daughter that's currently an aerospace engineering major, and
where's she going?
She's at Cal Poly. She's following in my footsteps.
In your footsteps.
Cal Poly.
Yeah, I love it. So she's probably just now a freshman over there. Just started?
No, she's a sophomore. This is her second year.
Sophomore. Okay. Aerospace, huh?
Yeah, she's the brainiac of the family. She got the brains from the wife. She just followed in my footsteps with the school, not the brains.
Right. So you obviously you say you're married. How long you been married?
Me and my wife, we've been married for 5 years now.
Okay. So your daughter's from a previous relationship.
Exactly. This is my stepdaughter.
Okay. And how many other children?
That's it. That's all I need. Just that one.
Yeah. Right. I hear you on that one. They cost money because they like to eat and
exactly.
have clothes.
You know what though? Me and the wife, we've talked about it. If we're blessed, if God, if the Most High blesses us to be able to adopt and give and be able to bring somebody into our home that we can actually share our love with, then hey, inshallah, it'll happen.
Right.
If not, but it's his it's literally it's up to God. It's not up to us.
Yes, amen to that. And so you said you've been in karate and martial arts since you were 13, 14 years old. Did you do any other sports? Because you're a pretty tall dude, right? How tall are you? First of all,
I'm 6'3".
6'3". So did you play ball, football, basketball?
I played basketball. I was at Crenshaw High for a minute, then I went over to LA High, and then from LA High I went over to Hamilton. But my longest stint playing basketball was at LA High.
Okay, all right. What'd you play? What position?
I was a small forward.
Small forward. Okay, yeah. Were you 6'3" back in high school, or
I was about 6'2".
About 6'2".
I was about 6'2". I stopped growing probably about, I say maybe about junior year.
Okay.
I kind of stopped growing. Got about when I graduated. I think I probably grew about another inch or so. The issue was I got shot when I was 17, so that ended my sports career.
Wow, what happened with that? Was that related, or was it a stray?
I was in the right place at the wrong time. I was at my godparents' house, waiting to go home. I could have walked home because I lived right down the street. I stayed off Crenshaw on West Boulevard. I was hanging out at my godparents' house on 10th Avenue and 54th, which is literally about maybe 5 blocks from my house. So instead of me walking home, I was being lazy and was waiting on my boy to come back, and he was going to give me a ride to the house.
Right.
And me and a few other friends, we were sitting on the porch, and it was pitch black, and things happened.
Yeah.
Guy walked up, and I got shot, hitting in the back of the head and in the arm with a 20 gauge.
Oh.
Yeah, my best friend Siobhan, she got shot in the back, and she's no longer with us.
Wow. Sorry to hear that, man. And how long were you out on the mend? How long?
What you say?
How long were you on the mend on that?
I'm still, but literally, it was, I say, probably maybe a few years before I could get full functioning of my hand. I'm still like with my arm, I'm at maybe 90% use, 80, I say 85 to 90% of my right arm.
Wow.
I still got buckshots in the back of the head from where I got shot. When they do an x-ray of my head, you can actually see the pellets still up in there.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And how many surgeries? You had a bunch of surgeries, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, I looked like Freddy Krueger for a while.
Wow. Yeah. I'm glad you made it through, man, so that we can finally meet you. We need you here, brother. So keep that up.
Most definitely. Hey,
keep that up.
I've been blessed.
Yeah.
I've been tremendously blessed.
All right. So, with your county, as a probation officer, how many probation officers would you say your county?
Not enough.
Never enough. It's never enough.
I would say maybe we're probably the second largest law enforcement agency under the sheriffs in our county, if I'm not mistaken. How many officers? I don't know that number right now.
Right. Okay.
I don't know that number.
What would you say is the makeup of minorities, of blacks and Latinos? And
you know what? That's one thing I do love about the agency I work with. We're pretty diverse. We're pretty diverse. As far as gender roles go, we're very heavy female led. As far as from the top down, it's like we got a very, very unique and very diverse makeup in our department, and it's like a family. Literally, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you haven't had any problems, because you're pretty diverse in your department. Any issues that you've seen over the years, being a black man in your role?
You know what?
Probation officer.
We joke about it. But honestly, as many of my friends that's been promoted through the ranks, mentors that's taken me up under their wings that look like me, I can't say that I've experienced anything that's actually stood out. I mean, I can make a case for pretty much anything if I wanted to, but because of the mentors that's taken me under my wings, my former supervisor, who I still don't know what he is. I think he's Polynesian, but
okay.
I don't know what he was, but literally I still stay in contact with him to this day. He retired, and he was a great, tremendous role model and help to our whole team. My supervisor now, she's wonderful. Let me see. When I first came on board, I mean, literally, I've had, and I keep saying this, but I've been blessed.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Literally from the top down, I ran into a couple of hiccups early on, but even with that, it's like I've had people reach out to me and take me up under their wings. That literally that looked like me and didn't look like me.
Right. Yeah. That's cool, man. I really like that, because you don't find that in a lot of agencies. For one, a lot of minorities, a lot of black men and women, or any other minority in a lot of agencies. So when you have a good, diverse population of people that work for you, and they want to help others move up or do good things in their profession, that's good. That's a good thing to hear. Good thing to see. I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, what is like one of the most rewarding parts of your job?
Something that rarely happens, but it do happen, is when you see somebody actually change.
Now you say rarely.
It rarely happens. The recidivism rate is pretty high. Because my job, and I've had to tell people this, my job is not to help you.
Okay.
My job is to provide the resources for you to help yourself. And I had to come into that understanding because I came into the mind state that I'm going to help you. 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 And I kept burning
Right.
myself out.
Okay.
And then I can't remember the lecture series that I went to. I go to a lot of different personal growth informationals.
Yes.
And one thing that especially with my master's program that I was in, they said our job is not to help or heal. Our job is to facilitate that healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I really started thinking about that. I'm burning myself out. Why?
Yeah.
It's not my job to change your life. It's your job to change your life. If I'm putting more effort into helping you than you're putting into helping yourself, then it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I had to come to the realization that my job isn't to help you. My job is, when you're ready to help yourself, provide you with those resources.
Help you help yourself.
Exactly. And that's exactly how I started approaching my job now. It's like, hey, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to let you know that I got your back.
Right.
But you have to work harder for yourself than I'm going to work for you.
Exactly. And that's the way it should be.
Exactly. If you're ready, let me know. And I will use my personal networking. I will use my professional networking. Everything I can to get you to that level to help yourself. If I got to reach out to LA because I know a program out there and I grew up with the person that's running that program and he can bring you into his housing, then I might have to make that phone call.
Yeah.
Case in point, Los Angeles has, and this is the only program that I know of, I don't know if it's in other states, but they have a housing program for Muslim men and women coming out of prison, where it's like housing, where they have their own apartment. They help you find a job where you're paying monthly. You're paying your own rent, so it's not like free housing. You're paying for it. You come in for free, but next month you got to pay rent.
Now you got to pay something.
You got to pay something. But they help you find that job that's going to get you to do that.
Okay.
And and the thing is, a lot of brothers and sisters who have come into Islam, I run into, they don't have a network out there to help them.
Right.
So they wind up falling back into the criminality, the mind state, because they changed when they were inside.
Right.
But when they came home, there was nothing out there to continue that change.
Right.
So the program in LA called Isla, they have actually tapped into that. And it's beautiful because it's like right now the women's housing, I believe, is almost full. Mm-hmm. The men's housing, they had to open up another house up. If I'm not mistaken, I know the women's house is almost full. The men's house is the one that they're working on right now.
Like how many beds would that be? How many rooms? Or
it would be
people they help with that.
Right now, I know that it's an apartment complex, so it's like it'll probably be like it's like a 3-bedroom apartment.
Wow.
That will have 2 beds each. So you're paying for, you're going to be roommate with somebody until you can transition to your own place.
Okay. Got it. Gotcha.
Now, I'm not sure if it's 2 beds each. I'm not sure if it's a 3-person house, because, I mean, when you have too many people in one location, you start running into issues.
Yeah, this is true.
So,
yeah.
I haven't had an opportunity to go out there and check it out. The imam that's in charge of it has invited me out, and I'm looking forward to getting an opportunity to go check it out, because there's a few people out here that has come into the deen that is looking for that extra help that I'm trying to push that way.
All right. Good deal. So what sort of changes have you seen in your profession from when you first started to now? I know AB 109 is one of them.
You know what? Honestly, and just keeping it real, I've seen a lot of resources disappear. I won't say on the probation level per se, but just all around, a lot of resources have started to disappear.
Right.
Where at one time I could send somebody to Northern California to a program up there that's known to pretty much handle business. Now you have agencies that will not allow their person to receive services out of county.
Right.
And that right there limits the amount of help you can give, because when there's no beds available in your county and you can't send them to another county, then you put them on a waiting list.
Right.
When there's beds available in other places.
Yeah. It's tough to deal with that way, though.
Exactly.
All right.
So a lot of resources is being, I won't say hoarded, but it's like, I'm not going to send funds to that county to help my person.
Right.
I don't know if I said that correctly, but I'm just going off of how it feels and how it looks.
Yes. I got it. All right. What sort of either investigation or case or some particular person, you don't have to mention names, of course, can you mention that you can remember that, you know, was really gratifying, that they actually did change, where they came from and how they ended, how you helped in that journey? Can you think of anything like that?
When I first started, I was dealing with a person who just came onto adult probation. I say probably 19, first time ever being in trouble. This is when I managed a low case, a low supervision caseload.
Right.
With a low supervision caseload, you don't get an opportunity to build a connection with the person that's on your caseload, because you're dealing with so many, just like I said, you're putting out fires. But this person right here, you can literally see that they were heading downhill fast.
Okay.
They were heading downhill fast as far as they just started using. They were new to everything, and they were literally falling into that addictive behavior, that addictive drug, substance abuse behavior leading to criminality.
Right. What was their original charge? What were they on probation for?
Maintaining a house. Maintaining a house to sell drugs out of.
Okay, got it.
This is their apartment that they rented, and literally, I'm trying to remember the whole story. I wish I can find the email, because my name came out in the email. The chief, because the parents called the chief and pretty much said, "Hey, I want to give kudos to such and such for saving my child's life."
Nice.
And literally, I don't give it to me. It's up to God. But the thing is, I utilized the resources that I had at the time. We had this drug counselor that was like, she was gung-ho. She would go over and beyond the call of duty to make sure the people got the help they needed. She would make phone calls literally until she found a bed for this person. She didn't let nobody just sit by the sideline.
Right.
She got moved from that assignment, and we lost a great person in that. But this person right here, I reached out to her and I said, "Hey, this is what we got going on. They're fairly new. They just started using. I can see this pattern, and I'm already in my grad school program, so I'm thinking like a mental health therapist at the time." So I'm picking up cues like, okay, what can we do to help this person? And literally, we fought tooth and nails and got this person the help they needed. And literally, you can see their life gradually changing, gradually turning. Eventually, one thing about probation, adult probation, is if you complete 50% of your time while you're on probation, and you zero out fines and fees, you make everybody whole, meaning that you don't owe anybody any fine, no money, then you can petition to get off probation early.
Okay.
You can petition with the court to get off probation early. And literally, this person did everything they could to change their life. And to this day, they're still doing well. I see the parents every once in a while, and they're still doing well. And this is like about, just like I said, about 6 years ago.
That's awesome. Awesome. It was a male, female?
It was a female.
It was a female. What was you said she had just started using, what was she using?
She was
starting to use meth. Wow. And then now she's clean and off of that and working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, see, that's good work. That's what we like to hear, we like to do. That's why we get into these jobs, so we can help people. One way or the other, we like to help people. So, yeah, it's good to hear that, there was a success story.
Exactly. And it's about one life at a time. You can't change the world, but if you can make an impact in one life, and that one life can make an impact in one life, it's like it's a continuous circle.
Right.
If you can make that connection with that one life, and then another one, and then another one. You're not trying, just like I said, you're not trying to change the world. You're just trying to change that one life that you are connected to at that time.
Yes, sir. One at a time. It's all you can do. But on the opposite side, though, you're gonna have some people that just don't want to change, don't want to help themselves, don't want to do.
We run into that all the time.
That's probably most of what you do.
Exactly.
That's the majority of it. And it's dangerous too. You carry a gun, and you got all those defensive tactics and other tools. And you get into fights every now and then.
Every once in a while, you go hands on.
Yeah, you gotta go hands on. People don't want to go with the program, right?
But the thing is, it's also how you carry yourself. That's why I love the team that I work with. Another diverse team that I work with, and the way they communicate with the people that they come in contact with. I mean, you're dealing with some hardcore gang members, and you can just communicate with them, and they're like following everything you. I mean,
right.
Literally. It's about they use that verbal judo really well.
That's what it's all about,
really well.
Yeah, I've found over the years, I've got 20 years in the business, and I've rarely fought. Every now and then, you get people that just don't want to go with the program, but a lot of it is how you talk to people.
Exactly.
Command presence is one of them, and you come out, because people gonna size you up, especially parolees and gang members and probationers. They gonna size you up if they think they can take you. It's on. They're gonna try to do that. But if you come off and let them know, that you're not having that, first of all, and then you know how to communicate and you treat them with respect. Most people, they'll give it back to you, and they'll just do what you got to do what they got to do, and move on. Whether it's go to jail or you let them go.
Exactly.
That's what I found. And another thing I found too is over the years, getting into fights is usually with the little dudes. Big dudes, you would think, you roll up on a dude who's like 6'6" or whatever, 300-something pounds. You're like, man, I'm not trying to fight this dude, and then they just do whatever
And they're the most cooperative.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're most cooperative, and then
you want
this little 5'2" dude, and you want to, hey man, put your hands behind your back, and he want to fight. It's like, come
that
on,
Napoleon
man, really?
complex.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So that's funny, dude. That's funny. Speaking of funny stuff, what is, at least one funny thing you can think about, in your dealings that, that you deal with people that's happened over the years when you're working?
Oh, man.
There's always the, you searching something, because you guys do a lot of probation checks, I'm sure.
Yeah,
and people.
That right there, I think probably the most, the crazy, now, you know what? That's probably not good for the podcast, because you find some weird, you find some very weird things when you search people's house.
Well, I'm sure, yeah.
And when I was going through FTO, I did get set up by my FTO. Right. So because everybody knew about it but me. So,
okay. You go to the house, and it was legit though, right? And they all knew what you were gonna find, but
exactly. Yeah. So I had to pass it down to somebody who was going through FTO, who was working with us on the search. So I had to pass that same little situation down to another person of mine. I was going through her FTO.
Right. And it's crazy when you go through these probation searches and they always claim that's not mine, but it's in their room, in their drawer, in their pants.
It's funny how you can search somebody's pants pocket and find some dope in their pants pocket. Oh, these aren't my pants. Well, you got them on.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. That's some funny stuff, but
yeah,
it is what it is. People try to get over on the system however they can, but whatever, dude.
exactly.
Where you find yourself in 5 years from now? Doing what?
5 years, probably behind the desk somewhere.
Okay.
I'm looking at probably maybe another 10 years doing this job. My wife, she's Indonesian, so she's actually tired of she's ready to go back home. So I promise her when I'm done here, we'll go back to our home back home in Indonesia.
Okay, so you've been there?
Oh yeah, we go every year. I send my wife back every she goes back twice a year, and then I go back with her every year.
Okay, all right. Wow, is that where you met or?
No, we met here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we met local.
Okay, how you like it over there? Is there some place you would definitely like to retire? Or?
It's literally in the village in which she grew up. It's like it's my second home. From the people of the village, her family. It's like literally, it's my second home. Yeah, I took my mother and my sister last year.
Okay.
And they didn't even want to come back.
Really?
They didn't even want to come back.
Is it like picturesque? Is it like on the beach or on the mountainside?
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, most people, when they think of Indonesia, they only think of Bali.
Right.
But I mean, literally, the whole. I mean, it's 16,000 islands. So of course, not even my wife has been to 16,000 islands.
Well, of course not.
Like, it's just like no matter where you go, it's just beautiful. And then the people, you don't run into the same issues that you run into here.
That's what I was going to ask you. How are you received over there?
Oh,
big black man over there in Indonesia. How are you received?
That right there is exactly what you just said. Exactly what you just said. It's like not even a negative way. Because first of all, they don't see that many black Americans outside of Bali. They don't even see that many black Americans in Bali. If they see blacks, they would normally come from Africa or Europe.
Okay, right.
So when they see me, especially after I come out of the masjid, after I come out of prayer, they automatically assume that I'm Sudanese. Because there's not that many. When there are blacks there, they're not Muslim.
Right.
So, and if they are Muslim, they come from Africa.
Right.
So they automatically assume that I'm Sudanese.
Okay.
So I have to let them know, no, I'm American. I'm
American.
Oh, you're American. Oh, nice to meet you. They don't see that here. They don't know the history, the rich history of Islam in America. They don't. Right. So the only thing they know about America is what they see on TV.
Okay. Yeah. And you mentioned that you're Muslim. How long you been a practicing Muslim?
I came into Islam in 1989, 1990.
How did that come about?
I got shot February 16, 1988. I graduated from high school a year late because of that incident. So I graduated in 89. When I went to college at West LA College, I was lost. Mentally, I was lost. I was still in a street-like mentality, trying to find something to do with my life. And I was talked into going to school. And I was talked into going to school by one of my older cousins and a few older homies from the neighborhood.
Right.
And when I say homies from the neighborhood, I mean the thug thizzle. I mean the big homies that are like,
yeah.
like,
but they were looking out for you, sounds like.
Exactly. They literally, because my stepfather had just passed away, and I didn't have no guidance, and they were worried that I was about to fall back deeper into where I came out of. and they talked me into giving it a try, giving it a chance. So I wound up going to West LA College, met some good friends there, hung out, played dominoes in the quads between classes.
Yes, sir.
And then we formed the Black Student Alliance out of the group that was there.
Okay.
The Black Student Alliance, we did all kind of activities at UCLA, USC, and one activity that we did was there was a lecture series at UCLA by Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, who's no longer with us. And it was a debate between him and the founder of the Jewish Defense League. And that right there is like, wow, I've never heard a person that looked like me speak like this before. Where everybody, it's like, it was deep. It was deep. And after it was over, I was introduced to him, and he invited me down to the mosque on 45th and Western in LA. It was a Nation of Islam mosque at the time, and listen to what they had to say, and it's like it kind of changed my mentality at the time. It changed my mentality. This was about 89, 90, and I started becoming more I say nationalistic, black nationalist, more Nation of Islam. I was like pushing the program.
Okay.
So
that was right around the height. That was right around the height, the late 80s, early 90s of
exactly
Nation of Islam. You know, with PE, Public Enemy, they were pushing.
Public Enemy, exactly. Yeah. And just about every single rap artist in the late 80s, early 90s had some type of Nation of Islam influence.
Yeah, Cam was from LA into that.
Cam, exactly. Yep. Cam. You had the S1Ws with Public Enemy.
Yeah, Cube was heavy into it back then too.
Cube is a Muslim.
Okay, is he still today?
Yeah, he's not a part of the Nation of Islam, but he took a shahada not too long ago.
Right, but I'm saying back then.
Back then he was not really Nation of Islam, but his security was.
Right.
So he was
Scoot back a little bit. Scoot back a little bit.
You're
getting out the frame again. Yeah, no worries.
I'm getting comfortable. Sorry about that.
It's all good. We're trying to get the story, you know. See your face into it.
His security. Matter of fact, his mother lived not too far from my mother. In LA. My mother lived on West Boulevard. She lived further up in Windsor Hills.
Okay.
So his security and stuff like that was members of the Nation of Islam. Matter of fact, I can't remember the name of the rap group that he brought out, but one of the members of the Lynch Mob. There you go.
Yeah.
One of the members of the Lynch Mob was from the Nation of Islam, and he was part of the security team. That's how they got plugged in.
Okay.
So yeah, Cam, stuff like that. But make a long story short, I say maybe about 6-7 years later, I dropped out of school.
Okay. Out of college, out of West LA College.
Out of college, period. Because I went to a few different community colleges.
Okay.
Bouncing around. And I was at the Nation of Islam. I worked in the bookstore, and one of the ministers in the Nation of Islam came in. He's like, "Brother, what you doing here? You're supposed to be in school, aren't you?" I'm like, yeah, but I'm trying to push the program. He's like, "Brother, we need more educated brothers around here, not idiots." And he told me to leave.
Wow.
He told me not to come back until I graduated.
You graduated?
Until I graduated. So I was hurt. I was like, dang, I just got this is something that I'm putting everything into, and I just get the boot.
Right.
But I went back to school. When I went back to school, I joined the Muslim Student Association. This is at Santa Monica College. They were connected to UCLA, so I did a lot of things with the MSA at Santa Monica College and UCLA. And I started actually learning what Islam truly was. It was a different mind state than I had. It was more spiritual than it was with the Nation of Islam, which is more militant.
Okay.
This is in the 90s.
In the
So
90s.
if you thinking about the S1Ws and how
Yeah.
they were like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
the soldiers,
Yeah.
FOI.
They had the steps. I remember that.
Exactly,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
exactly. So that was me. That was my mentality. It's like I'm leaving the street. This is something that appealed to me
Yeah.
because it was more of that street mentality, but more put towards my faith now.
Yes.
So fast forwarding back to what I was just talking about, when I started studying Islam, that's when I started feeling something here
Okay.
as opposed to just here.
Right.
It's like the spiritual aspect of it came into me, and it was more so now when I was on my hospital bed after I woke up from being shot back in February 1988. My mother looked at me and said, "There's a reason why you're still here. You need to find that reason." And at this point in my life, when I started finding Islam and I started changing here, I truly believe I started to now, almost 10 years later, found that reason why I was still here.
All right. All right.
So that right there is like literally a part of the process that I went through to make me who I am today.
Yes. Yes. Amen. Amen. Yeah. It sounds like you've had a lot of different changes in your life and things you had to go through to get where you are today. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you finally getting here.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
There's still more chapters to be written.
Always. We can't stay in the same place. Got to keep moving. So we're going to wrap this up here in a minute. But before we do that, we want to end this on a high note. And I got a little game I like to play with my guests. So let me set this up here for you. All right, this is a game we like to play. We call it
Black or blue, 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 black or blue. Come on.
All right, my man. So can you hear that? Can you see that?
I can see one for the Gipper or colleges.
Right. This is a game I like to call Black or Blue. All I'm gonna do. Your category today is called Win One for the Gipper. Win One for the Gipper, and that's basically colleges and university colors. Sound like you've been through a couple colleges in your day. So
I've been to a few high schools in my day. I told you I had a street mentality.
All right, so this game is fitting for you. It's called Black or Blue. I'm gonna give you a name of a college, and you just tell me is one of their primary colors black or is it blue? Simple enough, right?
Yep.
All right, so here we go. All right.
Oregon State.
I messed up on that. That was Oklahoma. Yeah, you got that one.
State.
You got
Cowboys.
that one. All right, you got that one.
They're black.
We'll move on to the next one. Virginia Commonwealth Rams. The Virginia Commonwealth Rams.
I have no idea, so I'm gonna go with blue.
Blue. No. They are black. See that black and yellow there? Yeah.
That's why I didn't know, because I wouldn't care about black and yellow. No, I'm just like for all my alpha brothers out there. Hey.
Right. All right. Here we go. The Georgetown Hoyas.
Oh, that's blue.
That's blue.
It's been so long since last we met. Lie down forever, lie down. Or have you any money to bet? Lie down forever, lie down. Yeah. There goes old Georgetown, straight for a.
Yeah, Georgetown. You didn't know that fight song, though, did you? No, nobody knew that one.
No, I didn't. I didn't hear the fight song in my ear though.
Well, good. You ain't missed nothing. Anyway, next one. Ole Miss. The Ole Miss Rebels.
Oh, that's black.
That's black. Ole Miss. Blue and red, man. Yeah.
The Confederate colors.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Next one. San Jose State Spartans. Black or blue?
Oh man.
San Jose State.
That's Delta Row. They are.
Come on, TikTok.
No. I know that. I want to say blue, but I'm trying to remember because I know that school.
Yeah, you gonna go with blue?
I'm gonna go with blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's cool because I got some close fraternity brothers out
Yeah, they are blue. San Jose State.
there.
You should know this one. Long Beach State 49ers.
Oh, black and gold.
Definitely black in that. The song familiar? You hear that?
I can't hear anything.
All right. And then our last one here, Wake Forest, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, black or blue?
I'm trying to remember their colors. Get off of the screen. Sorry about that. Wake Forest, I'm gonna go with
Come on, Wake Forest.
black.
Ah, that's a good guess. Yeah, black and gold. It's like the 49ers, the Long Beach State 49ers. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So looks like you won there. So we gonna say you the winner.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
All right, man. I appreciate you being.
For winning, right?
Yeah, I appreciate you being a good sport there. Let's thanks for playing the black and blue
How many did I
game.
miss?
You missed like 3. Let's see. We gave you
I missed
Oklahoma
2.
State, but you missed Virginia Commonwealth. You missed Ole Miss. You got everything else. So you got 2 out of 6 wrong.
2 out of 6. Okay.
Yeah, so you got 4 out of 6 right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you got 4 out of 6 right. So you did all right. You did all right. All right, man. Again, so hope you have a good day. Whatever it is you got planned for the day. Check out the podcast. I'll let you know when it drops. And, have a blessed day. I appreciate it, brother.
You as well, brother. Thank you.
All right, you got it. I'll talk to you.
Talk to you later.
All right. I want to thank Probation Officer Omar Bullard for another great conversation. Those are the types of stories I hope to bring to you every single episode here on the Black and Blue Podcast. So again, thank you, Omar. I really appreciate you coming by, and so does the audience. So before I get out of here, you know what time it is, Square Pegs. This is Props for Cops.
Give me my props, yo. More than a cop, yo. Till I master hip hop, I won't stop, yo. Give me my props, yo. More than a cop, yo. Till I master hip hop, I won't stop, yo. AG.
This story comes to us from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Check out this picture of 4 distinguished men. These brothers are, from left to right, Chief Matthias Wicks of the Tulsa Public Schools Police Department, Chief Wendell Franklin of the Tulsa Police Department, Chief Walter Evans of the University of Oklahoma at Tulsa Police Department, and Chief Melvin Murdoch of the Tulsa Community College Police Department. This historic moment was captured at Chief Franklin's induction ceremony. It's obviously historic because now all 4 of the area's police departments are headed by African Americans. This is symbolic of the progress we've made as a people and as a country, but we still got some work to do. So congratulations to Chief Franklin of the Tulsa, Oklahoma Police Department on his appointment, and I look forward to seeing what you and all these men have in store for your communities. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this episode of the Black and Blue Podcast. I hope you enjoyed everything you heard and you saw here today. If you did, you know what I say every episode. Subscribe to the podcast on all the major platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube, and you'll get notified whenever a new episode drops. Also, check out the website at www.blackandblue.us for all the updates on the show notes. And check me out on all the socials. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Black and Blue US. I really appreciate each and every one of you for help spreading this Black and Blue train moving forward down this track. Please come back again. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody about this podcast as we're growing. We got something special going on here. Till then, you know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Stay black and blue. I'll holler at you. Peace.
This has been a Maitre D Entertainment presentation.